Hey guys, so today I came across this clip where this is very depressing, where a mom was questioning sex education, just questioning it. Why is my child learning sex education? And they branded her a bigot. This is this is a very sad situation right here. Okay, let's check out the videos. Jesus Christ.
What about sex education, religious sex education? Do you really know what's being taught to your children in their schools? I bet you don't. And I tell you what, after this exclusive interview, this first, you need to find out what is being taught to your children or your grandchildren. I'm delighted, an exclusive, a very first on Talk TV, to be joined by Claire Page, who is a parent of two daughters, who it's fair to say has been on something of a journey with her school and what was being taught in the sex education classes. Claire, a very good morning. Thanks for joining us on Talk TV. Great to have you with us. So here you are, you've got your daughters at school. You think it's all going well. They're being taught in what's obviously, hopefully, a very successful school, no doubt. But then you had a bit of a hiccup when you discovered that what they were being taught in sex education lessons was somewhat concerning. And would the school let you see what was being taught?
Well, to some extent they did, but there were things that I definitely couldn't see and things that it was very difficult for me to see. So the first thing I knew about what was a new RSE curriculum was in August, when the school asked to do a consultation with the parents. And they gave us some lesson titles and asked for our opinions about those. And I asked to see the actual lesson plans because I felt some of the titles were quite contentious. And I just wanted to know exactly what would be taught. And I think I had to ask 5 times in writing before I could see anything that the school was teaching. And then there was one particular lesson, which was by an outside provider called the School of Sexuality Education, which I was not allowed to see. And they said that was because that came under commercial secrecy. The outside company didn't want to show either the lesson plan or the slides that they would be showing my daughter.
And their name was the School of Sexuality Education.
That's right, yes.
Right, okay, so then what happened?
Well, my daughter received the lesson from that company, which was advertised as being about consent, which, I was very happy for her to learn because I assumed it was about the age of consent, which is an important piece of law that children should, teenagers should know about. But actually, when she came home, she described something very different. So she talked about being trained in theories about heteronormativity, about sex positivity, describing that sex positivity is the right attitude to have towards your sexual relationships, that heteronormativity was a very bad thing, and our world was a heteronormative world and this needed to be changed.
Wow.
And this basically felt like indoctrination, not education. And so that's very much why I wanted to know more about what the company was actually teaching.
Quite right, too. I mean, so the world of heteronormativity should not be normal and not be right. Is that what they were saying?
That's correct. And it's a very tricky word and concept, heteronormativity. It sometimes applies to what you might call an ordinary heterosexual pattern of a husband and wife and children.
Right.
And it's also said to mean that you prejudicially think that's the only way you should live your life.
So your daughter at the time was how old?
She was 15.
Right.
And so, yes, she was being, there wasn't a great deal of clarity about that. And obviously the fundamental understanding that a lot of people have when they hear this word heteronormativity is bad, is it obviously seems to describe that a typical heterosexual family pattern is bad. That obviously seems to be a very one-sided view.
So that's what your daughter came back with. So what happened next? You then presumably said to the school, what's going on here? Can I see the lesson plans?
Well, that's right. And I asked several times to see the lesson plan. I even asked at a PTA meeting that was specially designed to discuss RSE. and constantly told that the commercial secrecy prevented me. And so I then actually just called the School of Sexuality
Damn.
Education, because I thought, well, if this is the company that's preventing me seeing it, I should call and ask them directly.
Right.
And I did that. And the very next thing that happened was that I received a letter from the head teacher saying that I had harassed this company by telephoning them.
Wow.
Which was utterly shocking. I mean, I'd been on the phone 10, 15 minutes. It was in polite terms. The person I spoke to had said they would send me some more details, not the actual resources, but some more details at least. But the CEO then stepped in and said, no, this is a harassment, and we therefore will provide no more details to this parent.
Goodness me. Just hang on there, Claire. If anybody out there listening or watching, if you are a parent or a grandparent, if you've got a question for Claire, or maybe you've asked...
How is it that a third party company is coming into your children's school to teach them about sex education? What the hell is going on? Like seriously, what in God's name is going on? And they can even disclose to you what they're teaching your child. They can even tell you the kind of nonsense they are trying to indoctrinate your child. This is crazy. This is really
your
crazy.
school for some information about these sex education lessons, do give us a call, 0344 499 1000, and Claire may or may not be able to answer, but she will certainly try. So Claire, after that call with the this School of Sexuality Education, which extraordinarily appears to be a charity, then what happened? You took it a stage or two further.
Well, I think what I just wanted to know a little bit more about this company, because it seemed to be, for me, not showing what you teach is a somewhat underhand way to go about things. And so I just looked on their website, and immediately on their website, I came across links placed right next to the teacher's profile pictures. So this is the trusted adult that had been introduced in the classroom. And right next to their pictures were links straight through to other websites, which were obviously their private interests. And that included promoting pornography, sex toy sales, and lots of explicit photographs, seemingly targeted at what you would call young people. They say it's an adult website, but it's, the flavor is very young, let's say. And for me, this looked like a huge conflict of interest and a major safeguarding issue, actually.
That's unbelievable. So you've got sort of essentially a supposed charity, well, it's linking you through to some of the people's involved to their own websites. Is it possible that, would some of the children have looked at that School of Sexuality website and therefore maybe possibly have gone even further?
Sure. Well, it seemed obvious to me that would happen. One of the things we know is how easily children move around the internet. But actually, the School of Sexuality Education claimed that it was an adult, or it was a site just for the adult teachers. You have to wonder why the teachers want to be directed to this anyway.
Yeah.
But that was their claim. But actually, in the course of my tribunal case to try and see this material, that it was actually put to School of Sexuality Education, what was the internet traffic to your site, and they did have to admit that children access their website.
Goodness
and so
me.
They knew that children were accessing their website. They therefore must have known that this signpost was available to them. Remarkable.
So truly shocking, frankly horrific. So you then took it further, and you took this to the Information Commissioner to try and get released these the lesson plans.
That's right, yes. So I made a Freedom of Information request to the school, and the school declined it, saying they had to protect this commercial interest. I therefore went to the ICO and was gobsmacked that they agreed with the school and said, yes, the commercial interest is more important than the public right to know what is being taught to kids in a state-funded school. So that then led me, the only thing to do then is to appeal to court, to the tribunal court against the ICO's decision, which I have done, and I lost again. So that means a judge in a first-tier tribunal also agreed that the commercial interest outweighs the profit.
And this is just utterly.
How is this even
mind-bogglingly
believable?
Shocking. So
How is this
they're
even
saying that
believable?
the commercial interest of sex websites, porn websites, is more important than the safeguarding of your and millions of other children up and down the country.
Well, I suppose specifically they'd say the commercial interests of the RSE company. They perhaps won't acknowledge that there is a shared interest there with the porn companies, but nevertheless, they will say the RSE company has this right to the commercial secrecy to protect its slides so that competitors don't steal them. There is also one slight, I should clarify, what the judge and the ICO said was that they felt there might be another way that I could get to see this material. So they thought that it would be okay for me to perhaps sign a non-disclosure agreement and go into the school and just have a look at this material, and that this would satisfy what is in the law and guidance on education, that a parent must see RSE. And they felt that was good enough, and therefore they didn't need to provide a freedom of information power to parents. And of course, this is just not even remotely good enough. The idea that parents have to go around signing secrecy contracts just to see their kids' work, and that
and then if you're shocked by it, you can't tell any other parent.
That's the crucial thing. And it's not just telling other parents.
This
you
is a
can't
demonic.
send it to Ofsted. You can't actually take, I
You
had
can't do anything with it.
full complaint procedure without the material.
Absolutely.
Oh, this is demonic. I'm gonna stop the video right here. This is really demonic. A third company coming in, teaching your children about sex. Their website have provocative or pornographic pictures in them, sex toys in them, and these are the people coming in to teach your children. And you don't know what they're teaching your children. You can even ask them what they're teaching your children. And even if they do tell you, you have to sign an NDA, which when you find out, you can't tell nobody about it. You can't even show it to anybody. This is demonic. Oh my God. Man. I mean, this stuff is happening in UK. UK is one of the most progressive, countries out there. Granted, it's one of the most, is very close to the United States when it comes to being progressive. I think it's even more progressive than the United States. But I mean, will it be that unheard of if that kind of stuff happens here? I don't think so. But this is really crazy what is going on right here. This is really crazy. Jesus Christ. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, please hit the like button, hit the share button, leave your comments down below. I always love to read them. And if you may, please subscribe. I'm out.